When I reflect on Jenkins and Wynne business, to me it's not just a place where we sell and service vehicles. To me, Jenkins and Wynne is community, it's opportunity, it's family, because I really wanted to work with my family. At the end of the day, that's who you have, that's what you have. And things come and go, people come and go, but your family is who you do life with. And I am so fortunate to have the family that I get to do life with.
We have all kinds of pictures of the old dealerships, then bring back lots and lots of memories. On this facility right here, Jenkins and Wynne, 1953, I was riding my tricycle around the showroom on that facility. It's amazing. I remember when I was a whole lot younger. I'm Don Jenkins. I have been working at Jenkins and Wynne since I was 15 years old. I'm only 39 now. Well, actually, I've been working at Jenkins and Wynne full-time for 51 years. Well, my dad founded Jenkins and Wynne, and he took Lincoln and Mercury in Clarksville, Tennessee in 1953. In 1960, he bought the Ford store from Clarence Carney. My dad, it was the third Ford dealer ever in Clarksville, and I'm the fourth. My dad was a visionary.
He was so easy to talk to. He genuinely made you feel like he cared what was going on in your life and knew all of his employees by name.
He was sitting behind his desk in that big leather chair, down like this, and smoking a Panatella cigar about that long.
Very smart. That's the reason I think this company has done so well over the years. He passed that along to Don, and they have a very good business philosophy. They try to do things right. That's the reason I stayed so long.
He's the one that envisioned moving from across from where the old Memorial Hospital was on Madison and moved to downtown Clarksville. My sophomore year in college, 1968, I took the local newspaper. I opened up the newspaper and it showed that Jenkins and Wynne had burned to the ground. My dad didn't call me because he didn't want to worry me.
I got a call at 5 o'clock. I jumped in the vehicle and come down here, and the whole front end of the place was ablaze.
The parts department had burned, and it burned all the showroom up front. When he built the dealership back, he built it back 2 stories, which was so forward thinking on his part, because if it weren't for that, we could not have stayed downtown as many years as we did.
So it needed to be done. I hated had to have a fire to get it, but it really helped.
We took on Honda in 1973, so I bought all the property on Main Street. In 1993, we built the truck center. The Main Street property we developed so we'd have enough room for everything. So we stayed downtown from 1960 and we didn't leave till 2016.
We did a lot with a little. And to me that was very impressive with how we figured out how to fit our business model and our value system into a lot with a little. One of the unique parts of our College Street location is that all the buildings were separate, and so the teams were separate.
There was just so many different buildings, you know, so you had the pre-owned building, you had Honda across the street, you had car service, truck sales department, Lincoln Mercury.
It had its own little personality. We were spread out over about 5 or 6 city blocks. 4th Street, we just took it for granted as part of the dealership. You just walk out across the street and it even look, you know, that was just part of the dealership.
You know, if you want to get a vehicle off the lot for something, you may have to walk 2 city blocks to get the vehicle.
You really felt like you were in the Frogger game, crossing College Street, hoping that people would stop.
When I was trying to talk Don in the building, he says, "What in the world will we do with this facility down here?" It says, "It ain't fit for nothing except a car dealership." I said, "Don, it ain't fit for a car dealership."
I guess it was a pretty difficult time, but it was sort of like, I sort of related to when the tornado come through. We all sort of pulled together.
The tornado is one of the single most important memories that I have of the dealership. This was the day that I crossed the threshold of this is a place to work versus this is a family that's going to support each other. Dad walked up to the kitchen. He had lots of brooms in his hand. and we all piled in the car.
I could hardly wait to get over the top of the hill to see what had happened at Jenkins and Wynne. And when I did, to my relief, the dealership was still standing. I looked on the showroom floor, and there was a four-door Lincoln Town Car on the showroom floor with a shard of glass about 3 feet long sticking in the side of the door. I mean, just literally like this.
There was 2x4s that had blown through the back windshields of vehicles. There were nails that looked like somebody had taken a dart and thrown them into the tires. Matter of fact, they found our Ford sign in a field up in Guthrie, Kentucky, in a cornfield.
And how many of the people that work here showed up, them, their wives, and they all worked all day just to get this place where we could open it up on Monday morning.
That said a lot about the people. You know, people never asked for a dime. People just showed up. And that said a lot about the folks we had working for.
The amount of people that came out to help, it touched me forever. I just realized what an important opportunity we have beyond vehicles. What a great opportunity we have to support each other through the wonderful times and then through the difficult times.
Jenkins and Wynne has stepped up to the plate for me to help me, and you know, I've had a house fire. The company came together, and I had nowhere really else to kind of go, and came back to work after it was all said and done, and everyone opened up their hearts a little bit and helped me out, and some people donated some things, and this is after I've been here for about a year. And I think when someone's having a problem at Jenkins and Wynne, we all have that same problem, I feel like, so we try to help them out, and that's big to me.
It's the family environment, that's what's important. Don and his ethics, God, family, the business, those things are important to him, not how much money is made.
I landed at a place that was moral, they had good Christian values, professional, high standards, a lot of integrity. I can't tell you how fortunate I was to land here.
We're a Christian family dealership. We don't have 5 million stores, and we try to make decisions with our heart, not just with our head. And we try to take care of our people, and I think that's significantly important.
We laugh together, we cry together. We have seen the very good, and we've seen the down, and we've all come out on the other end together. You know, if somebody has a baby born, I mean, we all have a baby born. You know, that's just the way it looks, and that's the way it feels. When somebody loses a member of their family, we all lose that member.
My father has multiplied our business to over 700 vehicles. I plan to be over 1,000 to 1,200, so I plan to pave the way for my kids to work here for their generation.
You don't really think that something so traumatic and painful can happen to you until it does. And when Blake died, that was that painful, traumatic thing that I never thought would be possible within my safe family pod. Blake and I were well on our way to starting to take over the dealerships, and that was both of our goals and our dreams. We both came to it at different times, but we both realized what a great opportunity it would be to work here and work together. So while I was trying to figure out how to pivot during all that grief, the rest of the Jenkins and Wynne family was too. The embrace I felt from the family at Jenkins and Wynne still carries me forward. I'm trying to do Blake proud by learning the service and parts side of the business. Thankfully, I learned a lot from him. He's in my heart forever. He is around this dealership. I still hear the shuffle of his cowboy boots. I still hear his chuckle. Fortunately, the team brings him up very frequently in all of his shenanigans. I love that the team that I work with daily also worked alongside Blake, and we together can keep the memory of Blake alive. When we started thinking about what's business going to look like on Trenton Road, Blake was a part of the conversations and the planning. It's been a fun journey, and his thumbprint has been all along the way.
In 2013, Murray came to me and said, "Hey, we've got a customer that's got some property out on Trenton Road."
I said, "Don, at your age, you're going to have to turn it over to somebody." if you're going to leave it to your kids, now do you want your kids to have to build it, or do you want to build it for them? He said, well, let's go to lunch today and we'll go out and look at this property. Well, he got interested in it. I mean, he caught on fire.
To many of you, this may look like just another cornfield, but this is the future home of Jenkins and Wynne.
Took a lot of wheeling and dealing, but we combined 2 parcels of property, and now we're out here at 2655 Trenton Road.
And you've seen how quick he got it done. Built all 3 of them at the same time.
The moving process was, I mean, you know, we did it over a couple of weeks, but it was, I'm not going to say it was simple. It was very complex, but we sort of had everything together when we did it.
Don was so involved in every aspect of it. He kept the managers involved. He kept everybody involved with what was going on. And we had our game plans done, so we had everything mapped out to a T, and it really came through smoothly.
Everybody asked about how we're going to get the vehicles out here, and that wound up being the most easiest thing I guess we did, so it was kind of a neat way it all turned out.
Just a whole bunch. It was customers, there was family, employees, everybody just getting in cars, coming down here and taking buses back downtown, getting another car and coming back out here. I remember my wife was helping move cars. It was fun. It was fun.
The way we got everything set up and then opened up, and then wow, the floodgates just opened up with business when we moved to this location out here on Trenton Road. It was incredible.
I just felt like we had really come into our own, having the opportunity to serve customers from this facility that was brand new, that had great room for technicians, that had plenty of room for the body shop, that you didn't have to back into 4th Street. I really feel like it was a step up for everyone.
So much better service here as opposed to downtown. When we were downtown, you know, our weight lounge was upstairs, and they didn't get to see us working on their car, whereas now we've got the express area and they can see exactly what's going on.
I think for the most part, we are so much more advanced now than we were before.
This was nothing but cornfields. We went from 11.8 acres in downtown Clarksville, and out here now we have 29 paved acres, and we got 12 more acres we can develop.
One of the things that I've been most surprised about is, so this place is a huge building, except already we've had to make various changes, and we're about to make some more changes coming up just to keep up with the growth. So I'm very excited that we are going to build another standalone Lincoln store. We had one, then we went together in one roof, and now we're going to be another standalone store. We're going to increase our service bays, and we're also going to bring more of a heavy-duty element to our service bays. Of course, we are bringing on electric vehicle and chargers and everything that goes with that. We have so many fun projects on the horizon, and it's just growth.
Well, this is my favorite picture. It's Casey and I when we were coming out here, when I was teaching her about how you build facilities. This was in the Ford store when there was no glass, just barely had a roof over it. Let's just say I'm in transition. When we went to Ford meetings, people would say, oh yeah, Casey Jenkins, that's Don Jenkins' daughter. Now when I go to the Ford meetings, they say, oh yeah, there's Casey Jenkins, and there's her dad, Don. Casey's will be the next dealer, and our family tradition will continue. And I could not be any more proud of my daughter, Casey.
Casey's the 3rd Jenkins that I've worked with. And I have to be careful who I say that to, but he was my favorite.
She would go to all the different departments, working in different departments. I remember walking back in the shop and I seen her taking an alternator off an F-250. You can really see how much she cares for not just the customers, but for her employees.
She knows what's best for this company, and she knows to do that, you got to take care of the people around you. She said she learned from me, but I'm learning from her now.
I just want Jenkins and Wynne to thrive for past my generation and past that generation. I want it to be a long-standing business in Clarksville that is known for serving Clarksville and the surrounding areas. We are small enough to know you, but big enough to serve you. And that's still the goal. And that will be the goal in 30 years from now. To the past customers and employees of Jenkins and Wynne over the last 70 years, I say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to serve you. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to work alongside you. You're the backbone of Jenkins and Wynne. We would not be here today celebrating 70 years if it were not for you choosing to come to the dealership.
I've seen the same faces for generations, you know, selling grandkids, their parents, their parents. That's Jenkins and Wynne. It's not this building, it's not that lot. It's the people that work here and the customers that do business with us.
Without all of y'all, we wouldn't be here, and there's so many customers that we've grown to care for and to know over the years and everything, and when you see them come in here and you know about their families and what's going on, and it's just a great thing.
We couldn't do it without you. I mean, we've got these vehicles out here for sale, but if we don't take care of you, and we hope we continue to take care of you for another 70 years, and I'd just like to say thanks to those folks that have come through these doors and gave us the opportunity.
We'd like to thank all the customers who supported Jenkins and Wynne over the last 70 years. The Jenkins and Wynne family would like to thank you. Thank you!
We've had a great management team, and we've had great workers, and all those people, you know, all those people make dramatic impacts on the business. And you know, I think the worst thing that could ever happen is if you leave a business and nobody remember you. And we remember so many people and so many things that they've done to help us along the way. You know, the loyalty of the team members that we've had has been phenomenal, and we have, in many cases, we have generation after generation that works at Jenkins and Wynne. Like I said, it's been a great ride. I will look forward to when Casey takes it over. She'll take this dealership to a completely different level than I've been able to, and I just know if my dad looks down from heaven and looks at this dealership, he'll say that we've done a great job prospering and growing this store.